Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hate long intros, so we're going to get right into it. This episode of Stitched with Love is super special. So to start off, this is a hat I knitted on my 48-pin knitting machine. It's in its tube form right now. I am going to do an X closure on this one. It's pretty much my favorite type of closure on knitted hats made with a knitting machine. So I'm going to close off the knitted stitches with my crochet hook and then remove the waste yarn, which is the gold yarn that you see here. This hat is a gift for my sister's husband, Gary. Gary is my favorite of all my brother and brother-in-laws. He's also my favorite person to prank. Originally, I was going to wait to show this off because I was late shipping this and my sister's gift out, but that actually turned out to be the best case scenario. So, a little bit of backstory. Gary used to be a race car driver here locally, which is pretty cool. I had asked Gary what he wanted me to make for him for Christmas, and he didn't know. And I told him very sternly, if you do not tell me what you want, I am going to make the weirdest, craziest thing, so you better figure it out, or you're going to get a Gary Berry 2.0. If you haven't followed me for a long time, then a Gary Berry is a funny bear plushie that I made for Gary. It was a total prank. He loves it. I was trying to come up with something funny, but also functional. And I wanted to incorporate racing into it, and I thought about those car rugs. The one with the little roads going all over the rug. You know what I'm talking about. I decided a race car version of the car mat would be super funny and also functional. I asked Gary what his dream race car looked like, and he had told me it was white, orange, and purple, but I misunderstood that as white, orange, or purple, and not some stripy version of that. Because of my misunderstanding, I made 3 different cars in white, orange, and purple. I didn't put numbers on them because I wasn't sure which number was supposed to go on which car, and I figured it'd be better to just not have numbers than put the number on the wrong colored car. I don't remember what our childhood rug used to look like, but I figured a little bit of whimsy with some clouds would be really good for this hat since it was supposed to be a little bit funny and a little bit silly. I made 3 clouds. Each of them is different, and yes, I know one of them does look kind of like a car. It was an accident. I just wanted them to look different. Side note, if you can hear snoring in the background, it's just Carl. He's asleep near me, and he snores. Here's Carl. He's asleep on his sugar cookie bed and all tucked in with his ramen blanket. I would normally redo my voiceover when Carl is snoring loudly, but I don't have a lot of time today since it is currently a little after 6 a.m. on Christmas Eve as I am recording and editing this. So if you see this video today, hey, I hope you have a very safe and happy whatever you celebrate. Alright, back to this hat. Gary is a pretty tough critic, and he's kind of blunt sometimes, but usually when he comes with his blunt opinions, he also comes with opinions on how to change, adjust, or fix whatever I'm working on, so his honest opinion is pretty handy when I'm struggling with designs. He did say that he hated my split color beanie that I made and had no other opinions than, and I quote, "It's not my favorite," end quote. So thanks, Gary. Just so you all can see, this is the hat that I was talking about. Because Gary notices all these small details, I spent extra time making sure that all the race cars were on the road and not off-road. I wonder if this makes me a better race car driver than Gary since I am currently at 100% of being on the road. Just kidding. Alright, once all of the cars and clouds are sewn on, this is done. So, for the story time part of this video, my sister is my best friend. She's my person, my favorite sibling. We talk every single day. We're very, very close. However, yesterday she ignored me, and I was a little miffed about that. Then, after the entire day of her not talking to me, she finally messages me and is kinda mean to me, actually. And when I replied with, "Why?" I heard a weird knocking at the door and someone shouting, "Delivery!" And that's pretty suspicious timing. My spouse went outside to see who it was, and he had texted me and said, "Hey, you need to come outside. This is for you." And I hurried and put on a jacket and threw on some shoes, and there was my sister, live and in person. Gary was there too, but he's not the star of this episode. We had no idea that they were coming for Christmas. They kept it super secret. It was kind of a mess because my daughter wasn't home. She was actually doing Friendsmas with her best friend, so I had to call her and tell her to come home since my sister and Gary had things to do and they couldn't just hang out all afternoon. When I told her, "Hey, you need to come home, nothing's wrong, but it's sort of urgent," she freaked out and thought that I was hurt. But I was just trying not to ruin the surprise. The whole thing was super funny. She video chatted me real quick to make sure that I wasn't, dying. And then my sister got in frame, and all we heard was this excited scream. Her friend's dad thought somebody had passed away, but it was just my child being very, very excited and very animated. So that was fun. Anyway, my sister is basically a Disney princess. Animals just sort of flock to her, they all love her. She has had all sorts of random animals just show up at her house and decide they live there now. A wild turkey, random dogs, all sorts of animals. A while ago, there were a pair of ducks that wandered onto her property and decided her home was also their home, so they just decided to live in her yard near her chickens. She named the two ducks Beverly and Cooper, and she would send me funny videos and photos of Beverly and Cooper doing silly things. And I saw this pixel art on Bracelet Book, and it reminded me of Beverly and Cooper. Originally, I was going to make her a throw pillow, but she told my spawn that given the choice, she would rather have a tapestry or wall art over a throw pillow, which is fine. It just totally ruined my project. I did have a little mishap when I was doing the pixel sort of design. I have only done a few of them, and I totally forgot that I needed to take photos the other way, so the photos do look a little wonky because they're upside down and I had to flip them. So if you're going to do something like this, sort of stop motion type of video, make sure you're taking the photos the right way when you put the video together. So learn from my mistake. So after making a throw pillow and then completely changing the whole project to be wall art, I decided it needed to have a cute little hanger on it. So I crocheted a little one, and then it just didn't look like it was finished. So I added a little bow. I made it to sort of resemble Beverly and Cooper's colors, which is white and sort of an orangey gray. So I made the bow in white and the accent color in the middle orange, and then I sewed that on. Now that we're nearing the end of this video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed my Christmas chaos and this little story time and the gifts that I made for my sister and for Gary. Let me know what sort of things that you would put on a car mat styled hat down in the comments. I hope that you have a super safe and awesome holiday, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell if you'd like to be notified when I upload next. My socials are in the description, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!